Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 31 of Birthright. They're finally back after an extensive break they took at the beginning of this year, sometime in January or February, or sometime around my birthday. Joshua Williamson and the rest of the team have finally caught up and are releasing issues again. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see where we go in this new story arc. And so if you guys aren't following along with Birthright, I highly recommend it. It's a really cool sci-fi slash fantasy, well, more fantasy than anything, story, and it's really intense. Like it starts off really heavy for one thing, and then that heaviness just kind of goes through the series really. And so, like, I highly recommend it. Go check it out, and if you guys haven't caught up with it, catch up and then come talk with me because I'll always be here. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in. We drop in on this beautiful looking beachside where this woman runs up to this this guy who's sitting in a chair, and turns out this woman is Kallista. She was one of the witches that set out to kill Mastema, who is the daughter of God King Lore, and set out to kill Mikey, who was the prophesied savior of Tyrannos or Tyrannos, Tyrannos. I don't know. I can't pronounce the name right now, but it's kind of hard. If you guys haven't caught up with it, there's gonna be spoilers. So just I don't know. Do your thing. But the last time we saw her was in issue 25 when she ran off with Brennan. And turns out this guy sitting in the chair is actually Brennan, who is tied up and gagged. So this is the first time we've seen them in a long time, time-wise and issue-wise. It's been almost 6 issues since the last time we saw them, And so we see Kallista talking about how quiet it is on Earth versus how noisy it always was in Tyrannos, and like all you'd hear are the sound of war, the dead in the dark, the monsters in the light. And she leans in to tell Brennan, saying, "I promised Lore I would punish Mastema for betraying him. And I knew her a lifetime ago, and as much as I love this quiet, I want to make her scream." And then we see this I guess this spread of pages of these witches who are being led by this one head witch, I guess, I don't know. And she's essentially saying how the true secret to magic is pain. If I'm not hearing screams, I do not believe you really want to be witches. And so she's training these creatures to be witches, and we see them all like practicing their magic, using the pain to build their heart's desire. And then we see a young Mastema trying to do the same, but ultimately failing. And then we see the head witch kind of, belittling her, saying, "You will not be receiving any preferential treatment because of your father," which is the god King Lore in Tyrannos, or Tyrannos. Sorry, excuse my pronunciation. Your destiny means that it is our responsibility to make sure that you are the greatest witch to ever live. If you are to be the top of this class, then you must work harder than you ever thought possible. What do you have to say for yourself, little princess? Well, she didn't have much to say, but she does eliminate all the witches that are in her general area. And then we see her talking with her father, her father, Lore, who has not succumbed to the certain nevermind or whatever ends up destroying and morphing his body into the horror that we see him now. And he's pissed. He says, an entire generation of witches dead? How could you do this? You know I needed them, or they're important to my mission. I do not wish to punish you, but I must. There's a master witch named Milena, who lives in the Bone Palace, and she will be your teacher. She is harder than your previous teachers. And we see Milena, that was her name, right? Yeah, Milena, introducing herself to Mastema, saying, pain is not the only way to grow as a witch, you know? And so she already sets off ready to, you know, she says, I look forward to hearing you speak, princess. But until then, I have much to work on. The lessons I have planned will be challenging, but I believe in you. Obviously, Mastema didn't have much to do for belief because she destroys Milena as well. And we just see this fire in her eyes and this disturbing smile on her face. And now we see Lore with her just sitting on his lap, and he's not doing much that you would think he'd be pissed for. You know, he's not like disciplining her, but he's trying to work with her, and so he ends up taking her to this place in the woods, saying that it's my fault because you have no brothers or sisters, you don't know how to interact with people, and I know how to correct that. And then we see this area where all these ogres or these trolls are massacring this species of pink creatures, and Laura continues to say, these are the faithful fawns. They are said to be good luck to those who wish to use magic. If one were to have them in their company, learning magic is said to be easier, but after today there will be no more, except for one that I intend for you to have as a pet if you so choose to. Will you accept this gift and finally take your lessons and stop killing your instructors? And we see this little fawn who's presented to Mastema, and then Mastema attacks Lore out of nowhere, which obviously she had no intent of actually hurting him, because obviously Lore's far out. She's obviously far outmatched in that department, but instead she kills all of his trolls and the remaining fawns, except for this one that he presented to her as a gift. And Lore is livid. He says, I am the God King Lore, and you are my princess. You want for nothing, Al. All I ask is that you act like it. This world is a horror. I make sure that you are shielded from it, and you repay me by creating more horror. And then we hear Mastema saying, I hate you. No pet will change that. You knew this world was filled with monsters, and you still brought me into it. You will never kill me, just as I will never kill you. But I refuse to be your princess. And so Laura kind of just brushes her off and saying, kill or keep your fawn, whatever. And so Mastema kneels down to the fawn saying, Father says I should kill you or keep you as my pet, but he never said anything about letting you live free. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And she leaves. And then we see this little fawn sitting in the carnage caused by Mastema, and then we see these spirits rising up around her saying, mercy, it's so cold, help us. They're obviously the spirits of her species. Turns out this is Kallista, and this is where she knew Mastema from. This is where she gained the hatred she had for it in order to join Lore and go forth to try and kill her. Because turns out Mastema, while she was untrained and didn't know the spell she was using, she cursed Kallista to forever hear the dead around her. Eventually, Mastema learned how to control her magic, and that's when she joined the rest of these mages in order to leave Terranos or Tyrannos, yeah, whatever, and built this barrier between the dimension Tyrannos is in and Earth. So this is essentially where they locked themselves out of. After the mages left, Kallista heard of the prophecy of the boy from Earth that would save everyone, and she worked with Mikey's original master, the one who, the ogre who trained him and taught him how to fight. Eventually, figuring out the only way to win this war is to stop fighting. Where she ultimately sided with Lore, who slaughtered her people. And then we see her back on the beach with Brennan, saying like, while I like the silence, I have a kind of clarity that I've never known. But with that being said, she uses this time of clarity to promise Brennan to teach him to become the mage she knows he can be. And she's like, if you don't wish for this life, this is your opportunity to say no. He can't say anything. He's gagged. He can't say anything. And so she says, good, we begin your training tomorrow. For now, enjoy the quiet. And that's the end of this issue. And I'm honestly very excited to see like where we go from here, because could she end up turning Brennan against Mikey and the rest of them? Like, it's intense. Anyway, I was actually lucky enough to get a letter printed in this issue. Again, I've gotten several printed in this series, which I'm very happy for. So thank you guys. And so I start off with, hey Birthright team, and hi Arielle or Sean, if you managed to free yourself. In one of the letters pages, a couple issues before the last one, Arielle was actually the one responding to the letters, claiming she trapped Sean under a bookshelf. And so we see Sean responding, saying, yeah, you got Sean. Arielle has been banished from Birthright until you say her true name, which isn't Arielle, 3 times. So they're silly. So long time no read. I had to go back 5 issues to catch up for this issue, which issue 30 was after a long break in that sense. One of my favorite parts about this issue is the cover. I can't quite place the expression on the Rhodes family faces. They all look sick to me, like they're about to throw up. And then we see Sean saying, that's a good assessment of number 29's cover. It's a lot of work being a member of the Rhodes family. And then Joshua Williamson says, number 29 was easily one of my favorite covers we've done. Super creepy. I continue with, I could feel the emotion in this issue from seeing the ways Aaron and Wendy ended things when Mikey was missing, seeing Aaron at possibly one of his lowest points. I felt that, but seeing them hug it out in the snow really brought it back. Now I'm very curious to see who these priests are and what sacrifice. God, you guys keep me on edge like this. Joshua continues with, Aaron and Wendy's relationship is one of our long-term story threads in the book. We went a long time without seeing them really hugging or being a couple again, but we had to get Aaron at his lowest first. You'll see more of the priest as we go, I promise. And that's where it ends from there. And so that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications or when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And if this is a series you guys would like to see me continue, you know, drop them down in the comments and let me know. I'd like to hear from y'all. And so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.